doing there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's business success story. So you're here with Jody, co-founder of The 7 Effect, and look who I have with me here today. It's Tony Everard, our in-house NLP guru, and also one of the coaches within our Lifestyle Business Builder. But today, my video's dropping out. Today, what we're going to be doing is talking about, or really unpacking, the success Tony has had in the last 12 months, 18 months has it been, Tony, since you've been going all in your business?
Yeah, it would be about 18 months now, pretty close to, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to unpack the last 18 months of Tony's business building success so that you can actually learn from her journey. And if you've got a new qualification in coaching, NLP, hypnosis, then tune in because this is the business success story for you. By the way, if you are watching live, we've got some eyeballs on us, Tony, but I don't know who they are yet. If you are watching live, please say hello in the comments, and that way we can speak directly to you and we can also answer any questions you might have. So, Tony, I always love to begin with, tell us a little bit about who you are and why you do what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Jody. So, yeah, why do I do what I do? Well, I guess it goes back a few years. My background's predominantly been in banking and finance, but I've always had a bit of a crack at some kind of business thing. So I did a bit of network marketing stuff, and then I just got to a point, none of that ever went anywhere, but I got to a point in my life where I wasn't happy in my job. I wasn't happy in my life. I was having a bit of a tough time as a single mom and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, I need to do something different.
Yeah.
And I started looking around what I could do to change my career and couldn't really find anything. But that sort of led me on my entrepreneurial journey, I guess. And after a couple of false starts, I got into the personal development space. And that's where I really, got excited and got passionate because I realized there was work to do on myself.
Yes.
And there was a big transformation that needed to happen in my own life.
Yes.
And through getting my first coach and then getting introduced to NLP, I really started getting some traction in making permanent change, and it was really exciting. So I really dove in and learned all about NLP and had a very transformational year.
You did.
Where not only did I change my life, but started helping other people and started teaching NLP and hypnosis as well. So now I'm super passionate about helping other people transform their lives, essentially.
Yep.
And that's really something I'm passionate about, and just seeing how that ripple effect travels out with people that not only that I help, but that then I teach and they go out and help people as well. So it's really exciting.
And you know what? It's been amazing 2020 to watch you. In 2019, it was incredible to see you already start to work with some of the people in the Lifestyle Business Builder, and then to have you on board in the team as one of our regular coaches in 2020 and see the ripple effect of your work and see how our students' businesses are growing faster than they ever have before is just amazing. So you really have got the ripple effect happening. By the way, we've got a couple of people from our community. We've got Savitri saying hello, ladies. So Savitri is
Hi, Savitri.
A coach. You've met Savitri, haven't you, from the
Yes, Savitri and I go back a few years, actually.
Oh, brilliant. Well,
a couple of years, yeah.
She's all about happiness and joy. So Savitri, great to have you here. We've also got Suzanne Murphy from the Lifestyle Business Builder joining us.
Hi, Suzanne.
We've got Joe Puplet, who's also jumped in and said,
"Oh, Joe. Hi, Joe."
Yeah, so lots of familiar faces, which is great. Thanks all for being here. So, Tony, tell us a little bit about the first stages of when you started NLP. So how long ago was that you got your certification in NLP?
2016. So I had started doing a little bit of coaching in 2015, and in fact towards the end of 2015 I went to Unleash the Power Within, the Tony Robbins rock concert seminar.
And crazy immersion experience.
Hug strangers and all that kind of stuff. And it was really exciting, and I definitely felt things change for me. But then when I went back into my own life, you know, those things started to kind of peter off. So I was like, well, I really need to learn, because Tony Robbins is an NLP coach, and I thought I really need to learn this in greater detail. So the start of 2016, I went off and did NLP practitioner training, had a hugely, you know, transformational shift, and then went on and did master prac, then trainers training, and actually delivered my first training all in that first under 12 months actually. And so, you know, it just, that was an amazing journey that it, for me, just really proved the power of the mind and learning something like NLP, how much difference it can make, for sure.
And Suzanne Murphy saying she loves your story, Tony, because you're such an inspiration. So that's from Suzanne Murphy, which is great. Thanks, Suzanne.
Thank you.
So you did that training in 2016, but then we met for the first time, I think it was 2018, was it?
Yeah, it was towards the end of 2018. Yes.
The end of 2018, you came along to an event that I was doing around building your six-figure business as a coach or practitioner. And we had a bit of a chat. And I remember meeting you thinking, God, I'd love to work with her. It'd be amazing. But you didn't join the program. And then the new year came and I did another event and boop, there's Tony again. And it was really interesting. So I'm just curious to know, and that time you did join the program at the ultimate level, which was exciting. But what got you to go along to an event like that in the first place? So why did you come and check out the Lifestyle Business Builder?
Yeah, well, look, I knew, I mean, I was a trainer of NLP, and so I really know that I have the tools to work with myself, but I also know the power of coaching. And as much as you can help yourself, and it's really good to understand how to help yourself, you know, you still can't see outside of your own box.
Yeah.
And that's there's always a limit to how much you can coach yourself. And so, you know, as much as I had done all this training and I was helping people and I had started running trainings and those kinds of things, you know, I had been a single mum for a long time. And so when I first did all my training, I was like, right, yeah, I started this business and I'm going to, you know, leave my job and this is all happening. And I did that. And within 6 months, it got really, really scary because I was the only person bringing the money, and it wasn't, you know, all these people weren't just landing on my doorstep like I thought that they would.
Yeah.
And so I had gone back and got another part-time job.
Yeah.
And
is that the one you described as gross? We won't say gross. The gross job.
It was. It was part-time because I'd said when my daughter was 2, I went back to work when she was 2, but I was like, I'm never going to work full-time again. I want to work part-time. And I'd always managed that until this last job that I got. And it was supposed to be part-time, but, you know, I ended up finding myself working like 10, 11-hour days with no break, with back-to-back clients, selling something I didn't really believe in.
Yeah.
And it was gross. It was pressure. I was in this tiny little box office and like I had no windows. And for some reason I had all these boxes stacked up on the walls around me. And it was like literally like caving in on me. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying.
Yeah.
And so it was a very, very painful position that I got myself in. And yes, I definitely did describe it as gross. It was.
I'll never forget that in our first one-on-one.
And it was just, that was kind of the stick, I guess, that broke the camel's back, where I was just like, I just can't do this anymore. I need to make this work, and I know I need someone's help.
Yeah.
And I'd spent a lot of money in the past on coaches and different things, so I was a bit hesitant about spending more money.
Yeah.
But the thing that made me come along was that it was local to me, and you know, and I'd sort of heard a little bit about you, Jodes and Amy, and the 7 Effect, and I thought I'll come and check it out.
Yeah.
And you know, as it turned out, you know, we happened to be doppelgangers, and
we had the same backstory, pretty much identical.
And I was listening to your story going, oh my God, like you're just describing my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and so that was a really important thing. And yes, I did. And I remember sitting there going, I want to go jump right in here, but there was just some stuff that was happening at the time that meant I couldn't do it right then. But a couple of months later.
You came and you jumped all the way into the deep end. And, you know, I
Absolutely.
remember having you in the workshop there and thinking, wow, if someone like Tony, who's got the NLP skills, could join at the ultimate level, that would be my dream come true, to be able to have someone like you with such a similar backstory who really fits our culture and our brand to work with our clients. And so here we are, just a year and a half later, and both of our dreams have come true. You know, you're part of the team, your business is exploding. But talk to us a little bit about what was the specific thing that you wanted to overcome? I know you wanted to build a business, but what were the specific things that you needed help with at the start?
Well, the big thing was that I wanted to get out of relying on a job.
Yeah.
And, that was a big thing. And I knew, the thing is, I knew I was a good coach and a good trainer. I knew I could help people. But the thing was, like, you can be as good as anything. You can be the best coach in the world. But if you don't know how to reach people, you can't help anyone.
Yeah, the best
And
kept secret is not really a great idea in business.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that is the big, and especially now, like I teach Masterpack, and we talk a lot about values and how people's their thinking evolves.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest steps is really getting out of being in that job mentality and into business, because, like, definitely in the past, I hated sales.
Yeah.
I remember I left working at the bank because it was so sales driven and I hated it.
Yeah.
It was like, ick.
Yeah.
And so many people find this going into business.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just about doing your job for yourself. It's like business is sales and marketing.
Yeah.
So, I knew I needed to do a lot more work around that as well.
Yeah.
And because of what I do, I also know that how we think and how our thinking evolves is environment driven.
Yeah.
So I knew I needed to get proximity to people who were doing the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And, the fact that you were here locally, because I've been in other groups that's online and stuff, which is good, but even the proximity of in the LBB, of how available you are, even if it is online, because we do a lot of stuff on Zoom now, which is great.
Yeah.
But it was that kind of proximity and being in the environment and getting that kind of one-to-one, step-by-step support that, was really what I needed to make that difference.
And, I think that that's I've seen the results that people are getting from that and how difficult it is. I myself am even in a really high ticket coaching mastermind where I'm paying, around $2,500 a month, and I love it, but there's nowhere near the up close and personal support that we offer in the LBB. And I just don't think there's anyone else really around doing it for that kind of level. And I think that that's what people, when they're starting out, need the most is get in my business with me, go through my copy and proofread it for me, help me write my landing pages, help me design my Facebook ads, proofread this email before I send it. And I think that that's been a big factor. So that's what you're saying you've really benefited from as well?
Yeah. 100%, Jess, because I think there's one thing when you can, like, watch, videos and things and courses online and go, okay, that looks great. But then it's like, how do I apply that to me?
Yeah. I think
apply it to my business, because my business seems to be somehow different than what it is.
Because I'm special and I'm different to everybody.
Yeah.
Savitri saying that the local thing was a big reason for her as well, and that's why she joined up for the case study. So that's great feedback, Savitri. Oh, look, and Joe's saying as well, great to hear your journey, Tony, and she's really happy to be joining your NLP practitioner certification course in July. That's next month. Yay.
Yes, it is. Super excited to have Joe along for that. It's going to be amazing. We've got a beautiful group of people coming together.
Yeah.
July, yeah.
So, and look, Sue Giacobi's just dropped in as well. We got them all here, Tony.
Hi, Sue.
So let's talk about then the three big things that you got out of the Lifestyle Business Builder. So you joined for lots of wise reasons. Get next to the people who are doing the things that I want to be doing, get that one-on-one support, and become part of a community. And obviously, as a coach, you value the value of having a coach. But of all the things that we've been through in Lifestyle Business Builder, and last year we joked because you did every event that we had throughout the year that you and Ali were going to bring your sleeping bags and move in. And we had so many laughs and so much fun. But of all of the stuff that we've done together over the last 18 months, what would you say are the top 3 lessons or transformational turnarounds that have helped you explode your business?
Yeah, good question. So, I mean, I guess those have been the big things for me, is the community support, and the proximity, and the one-on-one coaching.
Yep.
But I loved all the live events as well. So, actually being in the room with other lifestyle business builders was fantastic. I guess, the thing with the community, it's not just that there's a community, but it's the caliber of the community. Like, I honestly can say I don't think I've ever come across, and I've been involved in a few different communities, that attracts such quality of people.
Yeah.
Like, I just find everyone that I come across in the LBB community are good people that, are really there to do good things in the world and support each other and share their knowledge and really get behind each other, which I think is so important, because I really believe that one of the big challenges for people when they go into business is often they don't have other people around them who are in business.
No, and often they have people who are doubting them, not only themselves doubting them, but there's people around going, oh, when are you going to give up on your hobby and just get a normal job? And,
Yeah, absolutely. I remember getting those questions as well. Like, are you making money in your business yet, Tony? And it's like,
in that kind of sarcastic, are you making any money out of these crazy ideas yet?
That's how it sounded. And this is what I talk about. It's because often we want people like our partners or our parents or our friends to be our biggest supporters.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they're just not. And it doesn't have to be their job to do that. And I think it's really important that you do find those tribes of people who do believe in what you're doing, and that they can see that bigger picture, because like I said, it is an evolution of thinking going into business. You do have to think a different way. So
absolutely,
that was a big thing for me, definitely. And one of the things I remember, one of the sessions we had, Jodes, where I had uncovered this limiting belief that I had, which was really interesting, because
that was right at the start, wasn't it? Yep.
Yeah. Because the thing is, you can do all the work on yourself that you like, right? And I know this as a coach and a trainer, you can do all the work on yourself as you like, but it's not until you actually step up and start trying to do something that the real stuff comes up.
Yeah.
And I remember having this limiting belief come up when I was talking to you, that somewhere in my unconscious mind was this belief that you can't make money in business. And, and these had come from family stories of what, my dad had gone through in business and his parents had gone through in business. And although they'd had successes, they'd also had a lot of challenges. So I'd grown up with these kind of stories.
Yeah.
And they were sitting in the background. So being able to work with someone, especially like you, Jodes, who's got that different perspective on business completely, that it brought that out. And that was a big moment for me to actually go, actually, do you know what? I've got a very, very warped view of business, and even what happened in my dad's business. Like, he did have a lot of success.
Yeah, all of a sudden you were like, well, actually, he did these things. We went on holidays. He had a holiday home, and there's all this stuff Dad had. It's like, well, he made some money, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a big moment. Definitely, that was a big moment. And then I think as well, really shifting my focus, because I will admit, I will put my hand up and dub myself in. I was one of these people who did spend a lot of time fluffing around with a website that I was never happy with, and making memes and, having coffees with people that weren't really going anywhere and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just getting that kind of shift of like, you know what, it's really about getting results. It's really about building a reputation. It's really about building relationships.
Yes. Yeah.
And once I really got my head around that and started focusing there, big things started shifting.
Yeah. And I love that. I actually get goosebumps when you talk about it, because that was a big shift. And this is one of the mistakes I say that most people make when they're starting in business. And is it James Clear who wrote Atomic Habits? He talks a lot about it in the difference of being in motion to being in action. making memes, building websites, perfecting this copy, and having meetings with tire kickers or comfortable people who are really never going to do anything. Lots of motion. But as you know, one of the things we teach in the Business Builder is your results are your greatest marketing campaign. Get in the arena, work with clients, get the results and share the results with other people. And that's all you need to do. So when you started doing that, I think it was within your first 3 months, you had your first 5-figure.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, Tony, in your business as well as personally? So how did that feel to finally get to the point where you're going, I made 10 grand this month, or was it 11? I think you made 11 grand in the.
Yeah, I think it was like 11 grand that I invoiced that month. Yeah. Yeah. I had this way. I'm like, quickly doing the maths in my head, being a finance person, going 11 grand, like in 1 month. That essentially means that's the formula for doing 6 figures in a year.
That's right.
And that's where, and that's where that really started opening up for me because, especially for me, like, because I'd worked part-time for so many years, I'd never made 6 figures in my career.
Yeah.
So then be going, well, and now I'm going to be in this business and do that.
Yeah.
Like there was a mismatch there. And, I do believe in that you have a financial thermostat and that you got to do work on that as well as to what money means to you and what you can accept in.
Yeah.
So that really opened up that it was like, wow, I can actually make money helping people.
Beliefs
and what was that?
Belief busted. It's not only can you make money in business,
yeah,
but you can make more money working for yourself than you ever had in your job.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. So because you made that transition, you were talking before about some of the changes we need to make. Have you got any tips for people at home who are maybe struggling with the same limiting beliefs that we all do, even as an NLP master? And we went for a beach walk on Monday, and I started sharing with you some of my own garbage that I need to sort out. I know the tools, but like you said, it's easier to have someone maybe coach and prod you every now and then. Have you got any tips for those people watching that may be held back in their business by limiting beliefs around what they can do to break through them, or what you did to break through your own?
Yeah, I think, look, I'm obviously super passionate about NLP, and I think the reason why I really believe everyone should learn it, but especially business owners, is because from my experience, if there's anything that's going to bring up your stuff, it's starting a business.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Because you get all this stuff come up about self-worth and being visible and money and sales and all of this kind of stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
And which I love. I have a great respect for all that stuff because I think you can't fix what you're not aware of, right? And diving in and that it does that. So I think I really encourage people is to learn about your mind and how to get in charge of your emotions and your mental state and really understanding how your mind works, because people aren't generally just educated about this stuff. So a lot of people, and this is a lot of what I talk about when I'm training or even with my clients, is about cause and effect, like taking responsibility for where you are and having the ability to choose for yourself. That you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, they're just something that you're witnessing that's happening. But if real strong stuff's coming up, it's just a sign for where you've got some work to do. So, definitely invest in yourself in understanding how your mind works, and working on that stuff, like lean into it. If it's there, if it comes up, it's like beautiful. That's the perfect opportunity for you to clear it out.
Love that.
So,
And you're a really fun person to coach, because obviously you already know the processes and the tools. So all I'd do is ask a couple of questions and then you just coach yourself through a little mini breakthrough. And it's like, okay, great. I love working with you, Tony. You sit down, we have a cup of tea, I ask 1 or 2 questions, and boom, boom, she's unraveling it. But for those of you that are watching, the other thing that's really important to know is that Tony's success has come from a big dedication on her own back to be the change first. So your journey of building the business, because the truth is there's been tears, there's been challenges, there's been all sorts of emotions and stuff that's come up. It's not like, oh, boom, it's a magic silver bullet. But you made a commitment to go home every night or go after every workshop and do the work on yourself. And what I loved about what you did, and this is a great piece of advice for other people, is as you had your little mini breakthroughs along the way, you jump into the business builder community and openly share that with people. You know, I did this masterclass with Jodes, I went home with this baggage, and then boom, this is how I got myself through it. So do you think that was helpful for you to release stuff, to be doing? Was that why you did that?
Yeah, and look, one of the things that really drives me as well is that I want people to know that they can change from wherever they are in life. So like, I don't have some kind of, I was talking about my dad had business. Yes, he had, a business, and there was some success there. But also I had a pretty kind of choppy childhood with both my parents remarrying like 3-4 times, and I was a high school dropout, so I left school at the end of year 11. I was still 15, and then I kind of just worked through and had all kind of failed relationships myself, and so it's not like my life had just been really crazy and then I decided to start coaching. There'd been a lot of stuff. So for me, one of the things I really like about coaching and training is sharing my own experiences, because it's a way that I can help people understand for themselves that you can change anything about yourself, and it's okay to share it, because you know what, when you do share it, it makes it okay for other people to share stuff about themselves as well.
Yeah.
And you just form more connections, and it's just more real, and it just helps more people. Like, I always think, I don't want to go through all this stuff for no purpose.
Yeah, that's right.
There should be some kind of purpose from it. And I'm a big believer that your biggest challenges, that you overcome, become other people. So, it was good for me to be able to share that. And I also, because I wanted it to be able to help other people as well.
And I love that you are, there's this saying, Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. Even reading your assignments as you were going through the accreditation coaching program, it's like, yeah, you are being the change that you want to see in the world. And you genuinely are passionate about this movement that we can create to literally rise levels of conscious awareness and let people learn how to program their mind, how to achieve success, and how to let go of baggage. So it's really exciting.
Yeah.
Suzanne Murphy, speaking of limiting beliefs, has got a comment here for us. Limiting beliefs, exclamation mark. It's what I'm continually dealing with, as you both know. So many success stories of mentoring and coaching staff before starting my own business, and now I can't get out of my own mind. And, I think Suzanne's story is a really familiar one. We can be the high performer as an employee, but like you were saying before, the moment it's time to now do it under my own banner, under the Suzanne Murphy brand or the Tony Everard brand, it becomes a much scarier thing for people. Did you ever feel conscious about putting yourself out there, Tony, and becoming the NLP teacher of South Australia?
Yeah, well, look, definitely it was, I grew into it. I definitely grew into it. And, I can remember it was in 2015 when I first did like a video challenge, and it was in this other group, and I did this video, and I've still got, it's on private now on my YouTube channel.
You should share it with us.
But I can still remember watching this video, and I looked like, a deer in the headlights. I was so shit scared, it wasn't funny. And but I did like 90 days of video, and I've done like hundreds of videos now.
Yeah.
But it was just, you need to shift your identity. Like I often talk about be, do, have, right? And it's like, people like to think, oh, well, when I'm making 6 figures, I'm going to feel like a successful business owner, and I'm going to be doing all those things, and that's how it's going to work. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
Other way around.
You've really got to work on your own identity of being. It's like, okay, if I want to have that, what does someone who has that do?
Yeah.
And how do I be that person?
Yeah, I love.
And so, okay, and like modeling people, and NLP is a lot about modeling anyway. So it's like, okay, so looking at people who are getting the kind of success that I want,
Yeah.
how do they think? I mean, sometimes you've got to mind read unless you actually ask them, but how are they thinking, or what are they doing day by day? How are they showing up?
Yeah.
And that gives you all the clues about, not that you want to be the exact copy of someone, but the kind of person that you need to be and the kind of things that you need to do to have those kinds of results. So definitely, if I go back, I think 5 years ago, probably just when I was starting to coach, I remember one of my friends saying, "Oh, so are you going to be like a life coach?" And I was like, I don't know. That's a bit weird.
Ew, creepy. Ew, not a life coach. I don't like that.
So there was a big kind of disconnect in identity, back that far. But now, like it's the same thing. It's like you do the work, you work with people, you get the results, and that identity just comes. It's like I couldn't see myself as anyone else.
Yeah.
Now, like that's who I am and what I do.
Yeah.
But it's being really focused on that, and even doing, I shared in the 7 steps process about the identity switch. So it's like, you just got to sometimes ask yourself, like, what would my most resourceful self do? What would my identity as this person gets these results, what would they do right now? Making decisions from that space and stepping up.
Absolutely. And it works. It takes a bit of effort, but there's a little hot tip for you, Suzanne Murphy, is really focus on the identity piece and just start being the person that achieves those results. So, Tony, the last thing I want to dig around in is your current business structure, because this is a big thing that we teach in the Lifestyle Business Builder. And I think a lot of people struggle in business when they start as a coach, a consultant, or an expert, because they build a lot of crazy, cheap-ass, low-value offers. Now, thankfully, you didn't have a lot of that stuff going on because you had your NLP training that you could already hit the ground running with. But I do remember a time when you weren't sure what your business model was, and you were like, well, what do I do with Jodes? Do I do live events? Should I create some sort of program? Who am I going to be teaching? So talk to us now about your 6-figure business model and what are the core things that you offer and how has that helped you increase your sales or your revenue?
Yeah. So it's definitely become really clear because I had a bit of a problem with, am I a coach or am I a trainer?
Yeah.
And I always felt like I was talking to different people, but I'm not. I'm still talking to the same people. So essentially, my business structure is now set up that I run 3 3-day hypnosis trainings per year.
Yep.
Which are fantastic. It's a lot of fun. People come in and they, learn some skills. They can start helping people straight away, like change things in their lives.
They get certification on that. So it's
certification. Yeah, they get certified as a hypnotist.
Yeah.
And then I guess probably like my main training is the NLP practitioner training. So that's a 7-day training and I run that twice a year.
Yeah.
And so from that, people can then go out there. There's NLP practitioners, timeline therapy practitioners, they're hypnotherapists, they're certified coaches, internationally recognized. And so they can go out and start helping people as well. So, I run 2 of those a year.
Yeah.
And then there's the next level of NLP training, which is NLP Master Practitioner training. So I run one of those once a year. So that's my core trainings and they all kind of run into each other.
Yeah.
So people that really want to master NLP and really want to be able to help people at a deep level will generally end up doing all 3 of those trainings.
Yeah, which I love that model because less clients, this is a big thing we teach at the 7 Effect, build a structure where you can go really deep with fewer clients rather than skim the surface with hundreds of clients at a $97 price point. So is that structure now working well for you where you've just got those 3 simple steps?
Yeah, that's working really well for me. And of course I do coaching on the side. So I'm, coaching, I do a lot of breakthrough coaching.
Yep.
And even that, there's 2 groups. So one is around with, LBB people, so coaches and consultants that are really wanting to break through all their mindset blocks that they're holding them back in business. So working with those people. And then I have another section where I tend to work with staff.
Yeah.
from people's businesses and help them with personal issues that's interrupting their work. So it's really nicely balanced for me, which I really enjoy. And although it seems they're different areas sometimes, they're all people that have very, very similar problems, and so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy doing that. But you know, especially now, having gone what I didn't have before, which I got from being in the Lifestyle Business Builder, is even the calculator.
Yeah.
What's the official word for
the business growth tracker? My favorite tool.
No, the other one, the calculator where you put in how many events, what events you are, and the number of events and those kinds of things, and it gives you your annual.
Yeah, that's the Excel spreadsheet. We call it the business tracker now. Yeah. Because
okay, so that's what.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's excellent. So I actually did some modifications on mine the other day to include all my costs and everything else, and
Brilliant.
income and GST and all kinds of stuff. So which is really cool.
I need to get you to update our version of it. Yeah. I don't know how to use Excel.
But even doing that, having that there, I remember when you first went through that with me, and I think it was at that first event, the second event, the first event, because I went there as a VIP and I got in the hot seat.
Yeah.
And to actually have that laid out to go, well, here's your business and this is how you make 6 figures a year. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah. It's possible.
It went from being like some kind of abstract thing to I can actually see how that happens.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, just being able to have all that set out and know how they fit in together and how that, what numbers I know exactly what numbers I need to do to get what the results that I want.
Yeah. And, that's a big breakthrough moment for a lot of people, is just going through that business growth tracker experience and going, right, let's work out based on where you want to be, how much you want to earn, how many hours you want a week, what's your goal income. And that gives us some really good figures, what your hourly and daily and weekly rate should be. Then we use that to design your product mix. And a lot of people have a big breakthrough and they realize, wow, I only need 1 or 2 programs and less than 50 clients, and boom, I can make 120 grand a year without busting my backside too much. So I will just let anyone know, if you are watching live next week, which is Wednesday, what date is it? I'm just doing a little plug here, Tony. Wednesday the 24th, I'm actually doing, so this live event that we're talking about that Tony came along to, I'm actually hosting one of those in a Zoom room. So this is not going to be a normal webinar, but a live business planning workshop where you're invited in Wednesday the 24th. You can go to our events page or the events section on our 7 Effect page and you'll see it there. It's a free business planning workshop where you'll get to go through the business growth tracker as well. So that was a big breakthrough for you. So I know last month, was it? Because we do, for those of you watching, we do level ups every month. You level in with the amount of money and what level you're at for the month at the business, in the Business Builder. The goal is to go from level 1, which is I'm making $0, all the way up to level 7, which is I'm making $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Now, what level did you level in at? And tell us the figure you actually invoiced for the month, because this was another big milestone for you in your business. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And I think, there's one other thing I just want to say about that beforehand, though, is that what was so incredible about the last 2 months, in actual fact, is that over the last 2 months, my business just about doubled.
Yeah.
In actual, it more than doubled in what I invoiced, but in what I actually received. And I think that is such an important thing to mention, because while, everyone's been talking about, no one's got any money and, all business is failing and all that kind of stuff, it's easy to get sucked into that and believe that it's reality, and it's not. I mean, I appreciate that there's been some really tough times for people, and there are people who have had some real pressures, and it's been difficult, and I appreciate that. And I really support those people.
Yeah.
But it's not true across the board. There's people that are still been thriving during these times. And, and especially, obviously, Jody, you provided us with a on-the-spot program that you managed to put together to help us all. Yeah, the life raft to help us all.
It's like whitewater rafting.
it was so powerful to be in an environment where it was going against the grain of doom and gloom. It was like, no, we just need to pivot
Yeah.
and provide the solutions that people need right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. And by being in that mindset, like I said, the last 2 months, my business just grew like huge. So for last month, I think the month before, I think I did about 8.5 or something like that. And then last month it was over 10
Yeah.
that I received, but I actually invoiced. I checked it. It was more than 24. It was 27 grand that
Wow.
that I invoiced.
10 grand paid into the account, but 27 grand of invoices in total, which is amazing.
Yeah. Which it is really good. And you know, and I think that's one of the things is because, you know, it's more difficult in business because you have some bit of fluctuation in your business. But now when I can average out over the last however months, I'm like, well, yeah, I am on track. Like this is six-figure stuff.
This is a six-figure.
And so it's just working that so you do get some consistency, but you can also manage, you know, how things vary as well.
Absolutely. And you know what? I agree with what you said. And I'm so glad that we did the life raft, even though at the end I went to the naturopath and they said, chronic adrenal fatigue, you got to slow down. I nearly killed myself as the captain of 9 weeks or 6 weeks of whitewater rafting. But it was an epic journey. And what I love is the flow on effect that's happening in our business builders. People are posting so many incredible results. They're making more money. They're getting more show ups to their live events. They're enrolling new clients. And in fact, I got a text from Sue Ruslin, you know, Talking Dental Sue. And she told me in the last 3 months, she's invoiced over 100 grand just in the last 3 months. So, you know, it's amazing what can happen. So the final thing, Tony, is how has your business changed your life personally as well as professionally? So how are things different for you now moving forward?
Yeah, well, now I have a lifestyle business. You know, like I'm very blessed. My office here is actually at my house. It's not inside. I've got like an office in my backyard, which works really nicely. And I have a lifestyle. So, you know, I have my daughter is 17, so she's pretty independent, but she's still home. So it means I can be working from home and still be here when she's home from school and all those kinds of things. You know, I'm just a lot happier in my life than what I was before. You know, like I still work a lot, you know, like I wouldn't say that I'm only doing 20 hours a week or anything. I do more hours than that, but like I love what I do. It's who I am. That's what I do. Like I don't ever go, oh my God, I've got to go and do more hours. I'm like, well, this is exciting.
Yeah.
You know, what am I going to be able to do next?
Yeah.
So you know, lifestyle wise, you know, that's just great. So I mean, I go to the gym, I, you know, walk the dog, I look up and do what I need to do. So really my whole lifestyle is, it's 100 times better than it was.
Yeah.
And professionally, you know, like I fully feel as though I've stepped into, you know, my real potential of what I can do, which I just don't feel like I could have got that in a job. You know, like I have the ability now to help people in ways that I don't know where you would find a job like this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I get to have a massive impact on people and the world. Essentially, that's you know, that is really my drive. So so definitely a lot more confidence and things. Even like I'm just being made president of my Toastmasters club, and you know, like I just, wherever I go, I feel like I just feel more confident in myself and what I can do to contribute. So that's amazing.
And if you hadn't joined the Lifestyle Business Builder, where do you think you'd be right now in business?
Do we have to go there?
We don't pick up old garbage, right?
I've always been pretty determined that I was gonna do something. So I don't think I would have given up.
Yeah.
But I think I would be doing a lot of hard slog with that kind of, oh my God, people are going to find out that I'm not really as successful as I want to be, kind of, stuff going on in the background.
Yeah.
And, and that's not a really great place to attract.
When you're wrestling with your own self-image, it's not magnetic to clients. Yeah, hey, I want you to help me sort my crap out. I see you've got a whole bunch as well.
So I think, it's definitely something that's made a huge difference to my business. And, I don't know where I'd be, but it certainly wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah, and you're in amazing places. Before you joined, was there any hesitation? You came twice to the live event before you decided to jump in, but was there any reason why you nearly didn't join?
Look, I knew I wanted to join, and there was the only kind of hesitancy I had was just around finances at the time, because I wanted to go all in.
Yeah.
And that was really based around fear of repeating the past, because I'd spent a lot of money trying to build businesses, and even all the training that I had done, I'd spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it was just a case of, there was just some stuff happening at that time. We were, I think, when we were buying a house, I can't remember, but there was stuff going on, and it just wasn't exactly the right time.
Yeah.
But as soon as I could make it happen, I was just, sign me, do it. And
I was super surprised that you were all at the top level. Like, I'm going all in for the ultimate, because I thought, oh, okay, she's come twice. Clearly, a bit judgmental of me, clearly a bit of a tire kicker, she just wants to glom onto all our free stuff and show up and not go anywhere.
Yeah, but I'd paid VIP tickets at the first one, Joe. So I'd gone in, I was all in. But, for me, it was pretty much of a no-brainer about me wanting to jump in, because I just could see, I guess, being around businesses and different coaches and different things, I could just see where you were going, and I knew exactly what you were doing, because I'm like, this is kind of my ideal. I'd had this kind of dream that I would teach people to be coaches and have this kind of business of coaches where I was helping people change the world and stuff. So I'm like going, you're doing what I want to do. And because I had a bit of a background in online marketing stuff, I was familiar with kind of systems, but I struggled making them work. And I'm like, well, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it was kind of a no-brainer. I'm like, I want to jump on board with what you're doing, because it's really exciting, and I really believe in, the course.
And, I have to say, Toni, having you in the course as a student, it's been such a delight working with you. Every success you've had, you've fully earned yourself. But also to have you as part of the team, I feel like the luckiest person alive, because the value that you add to our members now, and the exhilaration that we're seeing in their success, because you're doing those regular monthly NLP breakthroughs with the mastermind level, and then taking our private clients on that deep personal breakthrough. Like, people are singing your praise on every freaking coaching call throughout the year. So thank you so much, Toni, for being such a massive asset in the 7 Effect community. I'm forever grateful to you. Thank you.
Jody, thank you. That's really lovely to hear that. I appreciate it. And same, this is really, my ideal. I think we manifested each other, Jody.
Yes, I think so. I definitely think so. And then boom, here comes a chick who's pretty much had your exact history and background, and you're going to partner up and do great work together. So it's an absolute privilege working with you. One last thing, if anyone is sitting on the fence, because a lot of people follow us for some time and they think, oh, one day maybe, and thinking of doing the Lifestyle Business Builder but not quite sure, do you have any advice for them or anything you would say?
Look, I think, if you're someone who's been thinking about starting a business, or you've tried, you're just in there and you're slogging it out, and you're dealing with all this stuff, like, I can't make my tech work, and I feel like I'm alone, and it's just like, I used to talk about, it's like walking through concrete, it's just that,
metaphor.
It's so, it just, go for it, because I can honestly heartfelt say that I've never come across a community like this with the kind of support that's here, because it's just on all levels. It's not just the technical stuff, but it's the mental stuff, it's the emotional stuff, and I think it's the whole lifestyle
Yeah.
aspect as well, and I think it's just an opportunity that you don't want to pass up.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Tony, for being here and for sharing all your wisdom, not only on this interview and your business success, but also in the LBB. So, I think the hot tips from Tony, just to wrap up, would be do the work on yourself. If you want to build a successful business, deal with the unconscious stuff. As Tony said, learn how to master your own mind. And I honestly believe that getting the skills like hypnosis and NLP, and this is why you're such a great plug-in, because so many of our students are now going off and doing NLP training. I don't think I would have succeeded in business as fast or as quickly as I did if I hadn't had gone and done my NLP and hypnosis training as well. So thank you so much for being here. For all of you watching, thanks for tuning in live. And we'll see you next week with another business success story with someone who you can learn from and be inspired by. The truth is, you can live life by design and build the business of your dreams without walking through concrete. Thanks, Tony. We'll say goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.